welcome to the Kiket's video review of Logan.
Hola!
Hola, I'm Shirley.
I'm Christy.
And we're also going to be reviewing a new comic book called America, #1 from Gary Rivera. Hope I'm saying her name right.
Yeah, and the character's name is America Chavez.
Yes, and she's a new superhero that has her own solo. Well, she's been around, but now she's getting her own solo comic book. So This is awesome. So yes, we want to review that as well because we got it after we saw Logan, and it was just a great day. Anyways, yes, yay. Logan is a film by James Mango. It's the cast is, of course, Hugh Jackman, who plays Wolverine, Patrick Stewart, who plays Professor X, and you have Dafne Keen. I think I'm saying her name. Dafne Keen. There you go. Dafne Keen as Laura. Sorry, I don't know why. I saw Annie Hall, so I'm thinking of Diane Keaton for some reason. So, yes. So, introducing her.
Yes.
Yeah, Dafne.
Introducing. Yes. She was on a show called The Refugees.
I've never seen her before. She's a new young actress. I never think so. I don't know. She's new actress to me. But okay. So yes, and she plays Laura, like I said before, and it's 2029, and it's technically the future, and Logan's. He's older, he's an old man, and he's a limo driver, and he's trying to survive because he's taking care of Professor X, who's a way older man who has seizures, and he has other sicknesses, as well as Logan has sicknesses as well, and the adamantium is poisoning him, and his claws don't work right, and all that stuff. And he, who's also taking care of Professor X and helping Logan is Caliban, who's another mutant. He's a mutant tracker, played by Stephen Merchant. I think I'm saying his name right, hopefully. So yes, and basically they're just trying to survive. They're waiting for the end, I guess. I get the feeling that Logan's waiting for Professor X to die or something like that, and they're just they just want to live out into the sea. But then a lady comes into Logan's life who's asking for help. She is a nurse she has this child with her, and all hell breaks loose. Who is this child to Logan and all that stuff, and will he help them? Right. Yes, so that's the premise of the movie. And also there's no more mutants for 25 years. Since 25 years. As
25 years.
So yeah, it's crazy. So yes, Christy, what do you think of Logan?
Okay. Okay, Logan. What do I think of Logan? I am so depressed about the whole not being any mutants for the past 25 years.
We got out of
movie. I felt that. How's that possible? It's in their DNA.
She's a big X-Men fan.
It's in their genes. They're Homo sapiens superior. What's going on here? How could that possibly be? Like, how do you really destroy? Like, it's like technically a new race.
Or no, not race, like a species, or
technically a new species. So I mean, how can you get rid of a whole species? Like, come on now, that bothered me a little bit. But aside from that,
a lot of things bother you, especially with what happened to the characters.
Okay, so it definitely is a shift from what you typically see in an X-Men and the first Wolverine movie, because I definitely did not see the second one. It was definitely more dramatic. So of course it's like a dramatic sci-fi film because you still get Wolverine.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a superhero film. It feels like a drama film.
Yes,
that's basically what it is.
It's like a drama film.
It's a character study of Logan and Professor X.
And it really goes deep into who they are and how they are suffering in this film.
And that's very fascinating. It is. And something different.
Really, like the dramatic elements are really strong. Yeah. There's a lot of conflict in this film. You see a lot of intense emotional scenes happening. It's like this really really interesting road trip that they go through. And
It's a Western, too.
Western type
Western.
film as well. And I really liked it.
Which they had, in the movie, they had a Western called Shane, which my dad loved, and he was talking about that when he was watching the movie next to me.
We have to see that movie.
Yeah, he was
I love Western
I remember that
films.
movie when I was a kid. He saw that too, which is funny because that's what Professor X said in the in the movie too. He saw that movie as a kid as well, so there was a connection there with my dad when we were watching
So
it.
you get that
cool.
shift between the X-Men films and this film, totally drama, but you still get the whole graphic, animalistic, persona that Wolverine is, his character. And that's what I really enjoyed about it. So you're definitely going to go see those gruesome scenes,
But they work.
They totally
The
work.
rated
They
R
do
was
work.
needed.
The rated R was
Especially
needed.
for this
so
character.
Be careful with your kids. They don't like gruesome stuff.
I don't know why why people take their kids to gruesome movies.
Well, we used to take her when she was really little to
Yeah,
watch
but not gruesome movies.
scary scary movies
I
too.
remember that.
But this is really gruesome. Like he's clawing people's faces, guts,
And you see, like,
everything,
the
taking off the
claws.
arm. And it was like,
Oh, there was one
Yeah.
part in that scene in the middle where he's like clawing people,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome.
And then
scene.
there's the scene where he's jumping into people. That's my favorite. When I see
That's
him
so
doing
good.
that, I just like, I want to do that. And then Laura does it too. It's like, oh, that's
Laura's
so
awesome.
cute. Laura is cute. So the relationship between Wolverine or Logan and Laura is like very apathetic. Logan. Logan. He never shows any true emotions, really. He holds back. He's like this tough love person. Like, he'll be an ass to you, but
Yeah.
really he loves you. That's the way he shows
But
his
he
love.
also explains it in the movie in the end, almost to the end, about how when he shows love to people, something bad always happens and stuff like that. People who care about.
But I like that
That was
you
definitely-
show that side of Logan, and then showing it with the girl. Like he pretends like he doesn't care, but he really does.
Yeah, I really love the
That's what I love
relationships.
about Wolverine. Like, I love his character about that. Like, he's a hard ass, he's tough, he acts like he don't care, but really, he's a softy inside.
I guess because Professor X gets to him.
Professor X and the relationship between Professor X and Logan is like father
I
and
love
son.
that.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
in this film.
it's
like you see it in X-Men films how much he
Yeah.
cares about Wolverine, but this one, it's really
this whole
hardcore.
movie, like I said, was a character
They're
study.
bickering and all this
And
stuff.
it's about the relationship between Professor X and Logan, and then Logan and Laura's relationship. You see these different facets of how they are as people and how they react to each other, and also Laura and Professor X relationship. It's
Yes.
it's the grandpa, the father, and the daughter, and they're just trying to survive, and they're just trying to do this one last job thing, and it's also like a Western, and there's a road trip, and
Right.
and
then there's also
all these emotions that come out as well about these
and
relationships.
what
and
was
how they feel.
amazing about this film
That was
too,
beautiful.
the relationships, yes, I love that part. But was
The action
also
was awesome,
I know, right? I thought it was pretty on point.
especially
like,
when
not
we
too
meet.
much, but
The beginning action was awesome with Logan when that was happening
Yeah.
to him. That was awesome. Especially the scene where with Laura, when we were introduced to her and how she is and who she really is.
yeah,
That was awesome too, just to
Yeah.
see how fierce she was.
she is definitely
And
fierce.
also, I love the fact that we get these little character moments as well of like, yeah, she's fierce and she's, who she is, but she's still a little girl. She likes horses. And you see the little doll horse.
I
and all
know,
that.
it's so
It's so cute. And then there's also the other character moments, the little ones, which I love. Aside from that, is the one there's a one in the middle between, Professor X, who, he's like talking to Logan, and he's like, here, with the hat thing, and he's
yeah.
like, no, I'm not gonna wear it here, in the elevator and all that stuff. It's just those little character moments that just like, just
make him seem so human, right?
make them seem so human. It's like, I don't know how that feels, but I can't imagine how it is that you're taking care of an elderly person, and how stressful that must be but you're also, you feel guilty because you feel bad for, not wanting to do it, but you love that person, you want to do it, and you're also sick, and then that person is sick. I can't imagine how stressful it must be to take care of an elderly person, and how that elderly person must feel as well, because they must feel bad as well, because they probably feel, guilty that they're putting this stress on you. And then you have the little child, the girl, just being a little girl as well. Yeah. That whole scene in that elevator was awesome. I love those character moments. You get who they are just by those scenes.
They were enjoyable, definitely. I also love Laura's character, how she basically almost didn't say a word. Like, she had
through most of the movie until the end, and then she spoke Spanish at him, right in that instant, and it was perfect. I was like, when she's speaking Spanish, and she was just.
And what's even better is that there's no subtitles.
I know there was no subtitles.
It just works.
Just like, hey, this is
throw you off.
Normal. This is
especially
our language.
When you're not using it throughout the entire film.
And then it just comes out of nowhere with.
And she sounded so natural when she was doing it.
She talked better Spanish than me, that's for sure.
But the idea that she was able to connect just by her facial or her body language in this film, because she barely spoke. It wasn't until towards the middle end where she started speaking more.
Yeah,
but
that was awesome.
That was pretty amazing. Like, what were you saying? You were saying that they were like Oscar worthy or something.
Oh yeah, the performances were Oscar worthy, especially between Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. Oh God. It's like you want to cry just thinking about it, because the shit is so sad. But she was also amazing too. Like, just like
towards the end of the movie, when I walked out of there,
there was a lot of scenes where I cried. Like I was saying,
I cried too.
I never cried like that since Moonlight.
No, first of all, let's just put it on the table that we never cried like that in any superhero film.
No, not even dramas. Like I said, last time I cried was in Moonlight, and that was it.
So that was pretty intense. Maybe because we felt so connected to these characters, because they spent
also the story, the writing of the story was good. That was it. It was this human story. Of the people who are getting older, who are sick, who are elderly. You never get that type of story.
No.
You get it in others, but not that much. Especially not in the superhero genre, which I don't even think this is really a superhero movie. But you don't get it because every superhero is pretty and young and have no illnesses, and they barely could walk, and and they're struggling just to get by and just do their job.
Sexual appeal.
And can they do it? And can they still? That's the amazing thing also about Logan, is the fact that can he still defend Professor X and Laura, because he's older, he's sick, he's like he can't do it anymore, and he's trying his hardest. And now I want to cry though thinking about that shit.
I walked out of there being sad but also angry. I was angry because I was like, oh my God, this is Wolverine. He's always self-sacrificing. Like, he's always
fierce, and he could do it. And powerful,
but he knows he can.
He could barely walk.
And here he was limping. Sick, and his healing powers really wasn't working too well. He wasn't healing. Like, it was just sad to see him in that state. I really felt it in the chest.
And then also he had, I guess he had PST as well. He,
PSTD?
Yes, thank you. There you go. Yeah. And the can you really get through this? How hard it is, and
he had
like I said,
too.
Yeah,
drinking.
He was drinking a lot
in the film. It was.
I don't blame him.
Fuck,
it must be painful.
But the movie is incredible.
Yeah, this movie also deals with immigration as well.
Yeah,
and coming out now with Trump and everything. It's very I guess influential, I guess, or it has an impact in the sense, because it's just like, holy shit, this is like really going on now with immigration.
Yeah, and it's definitely a reflection of this time, almost, in a sense, like how the storyline itself takes place in Mexico, California border.
Well, with all these Mexican kids.
Yes, and mutants stuck in a facility.
And they're just trying to escape.
Immediately think of ICE detention facility.
To the north, to Canada, to have freedom, survival, to be happy, and that's what everybody wants, a chance to live and to be happy. You know, who the hell doesn't want that?
It
you
is
know?
a very compelling story.
Definitely, I love it.
You'll enjoy it.
You'll love it. And
it
deals with so many topics. Like I said, with the illness and getting older and all that stuff, and immigration and so much things. I'm surprised.
Go see it.
No, you definitely have to go see it. It's amazing. Also, yes, see Logan because it's amazing. I think it's actually my favorite comic book movie. The Dark Knight was like 1, and that was probably number 2. But I think it probably took over The Dark Knight.
Oh wow.
I know, that's big, because
that's big.
I love The Dark Knight for a long time. And then all the MCU movies are like kind of flipped off down. Like probably Winter Soldier's number 3.
I have to say,
but then it's all confusing.
Out of all the X-Men movies, Logan is my favorite.
And then out of all the X-Men movies, yeah, Logan's definitely on top.
Actually, I really don't care for the X-Men movies. If I can.
Yeah,
just
because
be
you're a
frank.
big X-Men fan. That whole thing is a mess over there. With Fox.
Oh my gosh! But I'm like, how did it go from here though? They're starting
New
with
Mutants.
New Mutants?
Right there in those movies.
I don't know how I feel
right
about that because I love my X-Men characters, but I'll see.
They have to. They just gotta like
new stuff.
throw everything out.
I don't know how you guys will feel.
That changed everything.
I was a little sad that
everything changed with this film, so they just should start with New Mutants. And all these New Mutants, and like just give them a
I hope
movie.
they're good though.
They seem
cool
but in the movie.
Especially
Lauda was amazing.
No, but this movie, the mutants in this movie are really like really cool. They
didn't let them show their powers or do much, which was kind of the problem a little bit there.
They were really about the survival of the fittest, so they were like.
But they were kids, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's kind of
you know. They probably
America.
don't want to fight after all they've been through. Anyways, let's talk about America. Go see Logan.
I need to learn how to fight.
But America, yes. Yes. This I never heard of her, so I didn't know who she was.
Me neither.
I know she was a superhero, but yes, that's all. But I heard she's Latinx and all that stuff. So she was getting her solo. She looks awesome and it's cool and everything.
Yeah, because you hardly see like queer characters in
especially Latinx characters.
Or, like,
yeah, or like going superhero stuff. Yeah, you never see that. So anyways, yeah, it's I love the color. And the artwork is nice too, but especially the color. The color pops.
Yeah, the color does pop.
It pops. I love really the color. It's very
I feel
calm,
like it looked like
pretty.
an old comic a little bit.
Yeah, you said it looked like an old comic. It kind of did, actually.
But, I mean, I wasn't really into comic books back in the day, but...
Oh yeah, the writer's right there.
Yeah, that's the writer.
That's kind of cool. So yes.
So what do you think of the writing?
It's okay. It was fine.
It's the first one, I guess.
It was the first one, so I have to see how the second one is.
Yeah.
It was alright. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I hope I like her character. I didn't really like her character in this thing. Is that bad to say? Because I you know what? But she looks awesome, and she's also confident, which is amazing. I want to be confident like her. I think it's just that the writing was kind of weak, to be honest.
For the first story,
I guess you had to introduce that.
We have, yeah, but...
But I wanted to know more about her. They only introduced her in like this one page of her story. I guess because she was already in other comic books, but I didn't get much from her.
That's what I was talking about to you earlier. That
yeah, you were saying that.
I didn't feel her character really so much pop out in these pages as I've seen in other comic books, and I wanted to get to know her a little bit more. I mean, we were introduced with her in this relationship, and then all of a sudden, she goes off to school.
Yeah,
so
that's
what happens to the
and then what
relationship?
happens to the girlfriend in the
I
relationship?
know, so I was like, it was a really big break for me. I was like, wait, this is good. This relationship is good. And then all of a sudden,
I think I would like her character. She's a fierce girl.
Yeah, we're excited to see what else comes out.
Yeah, it's just I was so like I've been reading Miss Marvel and I love that comic.
Miss Marvel is good.
I love it. Miss Marvel is so good. You should check it out.
Miss Marvel.
So you get to know her, Miss Marvel. So it's like
and for me the difference between Miss Marvel and America, like even for the first one and Miss Marvel, you get more of this like really cultural background
and her culture
and it's
her
really
family.
Invested in who the character is. And in this character, she uses some like cultural words in here, but not.
You don't get much of her.
They don't
her background, right? Yeah.
I like the street talk a little bit. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was actually cool. That was
Yeah.
interesting. So yeah,
Definitely check America out. You know, we're excited for the second one. We're gonna get the second one, especially
yeah, it was
because
fine.
the cover looks totally
Fine.
cool for the second one.
Yeah, I can't
But
wait.
thank you for sticking
Can't wait.
around and
I'll
watching
stick
the
with that.
whole show.
Yes, thank you. You get America to see how it is. You know,
Check out Logan.
Check it out. Check out Logan.
And
Definitely check it out.
have an awesome, awesome, awesome day.